Welcome to Design and Style, a podcast for designers by designers. And I'm Rachel Moriarty, your co-host, and I have with me the fabulous Designing Dixie.
With Dixie Miller Design.
And today, we also have Miss Stephanie Owens, a.k.a. Ms. Paper Moon, if you follow her on the IG. The IG.
Hi, everyone.
So we're super excited to have Stephanie. Stephanie, we have been in a coaching. We met, actually, the three of us met in a coaching group together, which is super awesome. Stephanie's part of our Design and Style club. She's one of our clubbers. And
that makes me sound so much cooler than I am.
I know. It's like we're going to the club.
I know. And Stephanie and I are actually collabing on her summer series. Are you doing 15 free?
Actually, number 16 is in the works, but it's an additional co-host that will be coming in, but 15 workshops. I'll be doing 10 of them. I have 5 co-hosted, hopefully an additional 6th co-hosted. There's 7 for homes, how to style your home, and then there's 8 for interior design branding. So there's 2 tracks, and we're hoping to add on an additional one to the interior design branding track.
Incredible. I love this 2-track thing that I have never seen before, Steph. And you and I are sort of in that same space where there's a transition going on. It's like we started here, we grew our design business. But I think you and I have that thing, and Dixie too, otherwise I wouldn't be partnering with Dixie doing this venture. But there's gaps. There's gaps in in what designers are putting out and how they are kind of not putting themselves out.
For sure. And that's a big part of what I teach with branding your interior design business is being a part of your brand. And that's one of the workshops is being kind of the branding babe behind your own business and being the creative director behind it as well, and not just a designer. So as a designer, we wear several hats, and if we have a very clear brand, it's going to niche us even more. We're going to get the attraction to the right people, and we're going to stand out when the market is really saturated with interior designers. And where I come from, I do e-design only. It's even more saturated with the Laurel and Wolfs and the Havenleys and the Decorists that offer, I don't even know, $45 rooms where I charge a premium fee. And I think I get away with that, and I get clients because of my branding and me being a part of my brand.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, I love that you're doing all of this stuff for designers, because your Instagram, your website, everything really, I just look at it and I'm like, I want to have my stuff together like Stephanie does.
And I sort of got into this space just organically by getting, the first inquiry I got the day I launched my site was from an interior designer that was like, can you do my website for me? And I was like, well, I kind of want to focus on client work. But while the client work kept coming in, I was getting a lot of questions from interior designers on how I became successful so quickly. And it appeared so quickly because it really did take me a while to get my brand up and running, because this is side hustle, because I'm not a risk taker like Rachel. I am not ready to just quit the day job and be like, okay, mortgage, we'll figure it out. So for me, it took a long time to sort of get everything launched. But when it was launched, it was very intentional. I knew that I needed to be the face of my brand, and I didn't want to hide behind my interiors, which I think has set me apart a bit. But it's the whole idea of helping interior designers just came about kind of by chance.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, I was thrilled to see it. And I use your Plan Your Gram.
Oh, thank you. I get a lot of good emails about Plan Your Gram, and it helped Someone told me the other day that the Plan Your Gram really helped them realize that they have content to put on Instagram that is theirs, and they were just thinking that they always needed to show a professional magazine worthy picture for their Instagram. But I don't. I don't even have any professional pictures of any interiors. I'm working on that next month because I'm always looking for how can I improve. But first things first, I was taking pictures of my shoes on Pretty Tile. I was taking pictures of my house. Anytime I'm anywhere. So if I'm in a store, I'm like, are there any nice light fixtures? Let me get my camera out. I'm at Disneyland. I'm everywhere. I'm always looking for something that I can post on Instagram.
And I think that's something that designers forget is even if you don't have a lot of pictures of your own stuff, showing the things that you are attracted to shows other people that you know what you like pretty things and you know what you're doing and you can put stuff. It's still a composition of things.
For sure. And also getting some of your personality into your branding and your Instagram. So people know I am a Southern California girl without the tan, obviously. But like I post palm trees and the Cabazon dinosaurs. And I do that partially because it inspires me, but also even though I do virtual interior design, my ideal client does live in Southern California. And that's where most of my clients.
Really?
Yeah, most of my clients are from LA. I just never go to their homes. They're busy and they've never even asked me to go to their homes. But I know that my ideal client, just from working in e-design for a while, I was getting a lot of work in Southern California. So posting that, even though I do virtual, and I have, like right now I have a client in Denver, but still I get the Southern California follows, and sometimes it translates into collaborations. Sometimes it translates into just building relationships with people and not even knowing that, not even going into these relationships with them on like, what can I get out of it? There's this one woman that I follow. I just like her style. She likes mine. And then I've been following her for maybe a year, and she just messaged me the other day and said, hey, I write for Atomic Ranch magazine. Do you think you can? And I was like, you do? I had no idea. And she was like, yeah, I write for Atomic Ranch and several other small, very niche interior design magazines. And I think if I could show some of your pictures of your house to the editors, I think they would be interested in me writing up a piece. And I was like, awesome. But I had no idea. And I never went into it thinking, what can I get out of this? But so I've gotten clients. I have a relationship with my local anthropology and just friendships with people. I've become friends with people on my Instagram. And as an introvert, it's a lot easier being friends with people on Instagram.
Well, I think we have 3 of the most awkward in-person group right here. But that's so funny that you're from SoCal. No wonder we're vibing. But that's another thing that I would talk to Dixie, and I try to encourage designers to reach out to each other, because if Dixie and I wouldn't have done that and started our first Skype dates, we had little Skype coffee dates, and we wouldn't be collaborating, having this podcast. We would have never known. This was like a couple years ago. And we just basically we loved each other, and we would we were doing that thing where you'd post like 10 times a day, and so those were kind of fun, actually.
It was
now
fun.
I never see your posts. But we were, that's how I was getting to know her, by her little, what she was posting, her little, what she would say about each post. I was like, oh, this girl's super funny, and she's quirky, and she's this, and she's that, and she's obsessed with coffee like I am. And, and then we reached out, and we just vibed, and so that's what I would definitely encourage. But I wanted to say also, Stephanie, being an introvert and being an e-designer, that would be the perfect excuse to hide behind your laptop.
It really would. But I knew that to build relationships, they had to buy into me, because I know if I'm going to invite someone into my home, regardless if it's virtual or not, I need to, and even if I never ever meet them in person, or ever talk to them. For instance, I'm a B schooler. That's actually where I met my design bestie from Glamour Nest. And I bought into Marie Forleo because I like her. She
Love her.
is her brand is even her name. So even if it's something like that, if I'm going to invest money into a brand, it's not like I'm not buying a pair of shoes. When you're inviting someone into your home, whether it's virtual or in person, you're not only there's so much baggage that comes with that. Like, we know so many things about our clients that are personal. We know when there's deaths. We know when there's fights. We see the ugly side. And to invite someone in, you have to like them.
And money too. How much they have to spend, how much they don't have to spend.
You know when finances are good, when business is bad. And also, it's such a huge investment because it's not like buying a pair of shoes and letting it go. Like, you're hiring the designer and you're shelling out all of the money for the work. So people need to know that you're the right person, and they're never going to know, especially with virtual design. I felt they're never going to know if I'm the right person if they never meet me and they never see me and they just communicate with me through an email. So I felt when I started my business, I needed to be up front and center.
I'm so happy you brought up Marie Forleo and her being her brand and her personal brand, because not only am I Marie Forleo brand, but I'm a Gabrielle Bernstein brand. I'm a Danielle Laporte. Like, everyone in her circle, Chris Carr, everybody that is that personal brand, like, I want to be part of her world and her circle,
And I feel the same way about Mariah Cause. Like, I know I love Mariah Cause. The Femmipreneur brand is totally my jam. She listens to like old surf music, and she used to be in a punk band, and I'm a total metalhead, not something that like everyone knows about me.
I'm a deadhead, which I know you know about me.
Like, I've seen Metallica 5 times. And just her whole vibe of she used to run her business out of her vintage camper, and her first business was restoring vintage campers, and I love vintage everything.
Airstreams and
So and for me, it was like, even though the name of her company isn't Mariah Cause, it's Femmipreneur, I love everything she does. I'm down for it. I'm like, what's Mariah up to? It's sort of stalker-ish, but professional.
Yeah. So we skipped a whole thing. I want to know, how did you actually even get started? Because I know a lot of people don't know, because I wouldn't know if I didn't know, but you are a side hustler right now. But what's great, I love that you have summer. You have a whole summer.
I have a whole summer. So
how lucky are you?
Yeah, the summers really help me get a lot done. I pack a lot into my summers, which obviously you can infer I'm a teacher. But my grandparents were interior designers when I was a kid, so I would spend summers there, and I always enjoyed it. And I went to art school originally for photography, but after that, my mom got ill, and so I needed to just make some money and have a life. I wanted to get married. I met my husband, and so I became a teacher because it was honestly an easy thing to just get into. Where I lived was in need of teachers, so I became a teacher. And then after that, in 2010, my mom passed away, and I needed a way to grieve and get back to being creative, because I sort of put that on hold for so long, being I wanted to get married, and then I had to take care of my mom for so long, and she was sick, and it was not an easy illness that she went through, and I needed an escape. So I went back to interior design school, and I was in school for 6 years because it took forever for so many different reasons to get through it. And I would go all the way to Newport Beach every night, which is about an hour and a half away from my house. And I just got it done. And from there, I knew once I was done, I sort of knew I'm an introvert. I have a day job that I'm not getting rid of right now. I also was done commuting because I drove to my school for so long. I also drove up to the desert, which is quite far from here, for work. I was in a car most of my 20s and early 30s. So I knew that e-design I was looking into, it was very appealing to me. So that's where I ended up.
Dixie just muted herself. She has a little cough there.
That's all right.
So your jam is Instagram. If anybody is listening that does not follow Stephanie's Instagram, I still have not, it's so crazy to me why I can't crack the IG net. Like it seems like when I look at myself like from the outside, I think what a perfect pairing, Instagram and Rachel Moriarty. But for some reason Facebook is still more my jam. I just love your feed. I love how you curate it. I know that is your number one marketing tool, right?
Yeah, it's my only real marketing tool. I have not spent any money on marketing at all. Twitter, I've given up on. Hashtag hate Twitter. Facebook, I am not that big on Facebook. I go live on Facebook. That's my main use of Facebook. But Instagram is where I found my very first client before I even had a website up. And from that client, I have had so many referrals. And then another client came from Instagram, and then I just signed on with another one last week. But the thing is I don't have uber followers. And that's something that I know it's sort of one of those, like, I don't want people to think I'm a fraud because I teach interior designers how to use Instagram, and I don't want them to go to my feed and be like, well, she has 3,000 followers.
You don't have to be Insta-famous to have an engaged following.
Exactly. And I know a lot of Instagram teachers teach how to get your next 1,000 followers, or how I got to 100,000 followers. And I don't think, for me, if I ever get over 10,000, I will be shocked, because I feel that my account is so niche, but I want it to be that way. I want it to only attract a certain type of person. And I was just talking to my business bestie yesterday. She posted an image that was a bit provocative, because she and I are very similar, and we like a little agent provocateur in our homes. And someone left a comment that they were unfollowing her because of the image that she posted. And I just told her she wasn't your ideal client. Right. She wasn't she wasn't your ideal audience, because you should not be afraid to be you in your brand. And it was such a shame that person left that comment and made her feel bad about being herself.
Yeah, just quietly go out the back door. Like, I don't need to know. I wouldn't have noticed anyway. Like,
I know. And I responded, and I didn't respond to the woman, but I was like giving her some love, because honestly, like, I am never afraid to post anything on there, because if someone unfollows me because they don't like my Jonathan Adler boob vase or the nudes in my office, I'm not the interior designer for them. And no. I'm not trying to appeal to the masses. I have a very particular type of person that I am trying to appeal to.
That's sort of how my Facebook is. I mean, I'm not FB famous, but you know, that is my number one.
She is.
That is my
low key
resource for clients, and only one time, and I literally got gobsmacked. I went into a client's home, and she said, "I'm afraid of color. I don't want you to use any color in my home." And I was like,
"Do you know who I
am?" Like, excuse me, you still called me. So that was one of the hardest projects for me. I know some people are great. I lose sleep over whites. I do not. I am not. it's just not my thing. I don't, I love it. I love watching people's feeds when they're all white and layered and textured
They're
and
beautiful
little touch
feeds.
of green, but I don't know how to do it. It's a little out of my wheelhouse and definitely out of my comfort zone. So, and I did the project. It was fun. It was beautiful. But, I'm glad I don't have a lot of those, because that's not where usually people are saying, hey, I've got 50 shades of brown in here. Please get me out. Like, I need you. You're my lifeline. That's what I love. But I'm the same thing. I don't have a huge following, but, people know me. They know my aesthetic. They, like I said, I'm their lifeline. I'm the one that's going to bring color and, and fun into their life. And so, you definitely, for anyone listening, you do not have to become Insta famous,
No.
FB famous. Just stick, that's why we're teaching the whole visibility thing, because some people are going to fall off. Some people are going to unfollow you. You want that to happen. You want
do.
people that are there to be your tribe, the people that get you, that want to, hang out with you, spend money with you. What do you think?
I mean, and I'm at home. I'm quite the sailor with my language in my brand.
Yeah.
Not
Me
so
too.
much.
No.
But I'll drop an F-bomb every once in a while, and I'll say, I don't give a blank about how many followers you have on my Facebook Lives. No one's ever said you swear too much.
You are pretty sugary sweet. Now that I just got a visual of your Insta, and I'm like, yeah, you're pretty sugary sweet on Insta. That's pretty funny. Because I would not have thought that you drop F-bombs and listen to Metallica when you're not, posting a beautiful pink sofa.
Well, and I'm actually I'm later today in one of my workshops, I'm showing my Instagram before I started using it for business. And I'm showing it after. So, and then there's a picture of me at a concert, and then there's video of the band. It's not Metallica, but it's a band, and it's all really dark, and it just looks like metalhead.
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait. So I think this is a good, so this podcast is going to go live next Tuesday. How many workshops will you be in by next Tuesday, and how many more do you have?
I will have finished with 3 by next Tuesday. Next Tuesday will be my 4th, and I have them going for 5 weeks. So by the time this airs, the first week will be over, and then there will be 4 more weeks.
And if somebody signed up next week, will they get, how does that work? How will they?
So they'll get access to whatever workshops, because I can't leave everything up on all of the pages at once. It would just it would be really hard to manage.
Right.
All of this week's workshops will be down, but all of starting next week, they'll be able to get all of the workshops. I don't know about Tuesday. It all depends on when they sign up, but the branding workshops are on Tuesdays, and my co-hosted workshops are on Wednesdays. So Rachel will be with me on the 28th, and she's going to be talking about being creative and confident in her business. She was one of the first people that I knew that I wanted in on branding, because, and it's so funny that you say you haven't cracked the Instagram code, because I always refer people to your Instagram for the visuals.
Really?
I do. It's gorgeous. So I think it's probably some of the engagement strategy. I call it the invitations. You in my course, you need to invite people to Instagram and get people over to your party.
Yeah, I think I'm not hanging out there enough. I don't hang out there, and where I'm if you're on Facebook, if you hit Messenger, you're going to get me instantly, because that's where I hang out.
Yeah, you can't just post and leave Instagram.
That's what,
And right now, and I've said this recently, right now I'm not trying to grow my following, because I'm so busy. I don't have the time to hang out there as much. And I've seen a difference. My followers, I haven't been getting as many, but that's okay, because there's that whole ebb and flow. I still post every day, and I engage with the people that comment on my things.
Right.
But I'm not out there commenting on other people's things, and I'm not going in and using my hashtag strategies to find new people to invite over. It's
You have this thing, though. I think what people don't get is they think when they hear I get booked out from Instagram that it's just from you posting pictures.
No.
You have a whole strategy because they like you. They go to your bio. There's something there that they can it's like a questionnaire or a quiz or
Yeah,
something
there's
like
different
that.
things that I promote at different times. My quiz, and then there's for my interior designers, there's that side I do my plan your gram, and right now it's my summer series. So there's always something free for them.
Yes.
But in exchange
And
for
then
that,
don't you have a drip campaign or something that
I
happens
do.
after that?
For my quiz, I have a drip campaign that runs, and they get an email a week for, I believe, 6 weeks. And it's sort of a balance of just purely value versus motivation. So there's that, like that. I like to do the value motivation. So free stuff, no pitch, free stuff, no pitch, light pitch. It's like, here's a client's project. If you're interested, head on over to my services page. So, and that is set, it's set on autopilot. So I have actually had someone before my website launched, they did book me, like they messaged me and they were like, how can I work with you? And then, but other than that, once in a lifetime love at first sight client, they have all come from either referrals from someone that booked me, that knew me on Instagram, or they've signed up for something and they went through the series of emails. And the same for selling my Instagram course. All of the people that have bought it didn't just buy it like that. They went to a webinar. They've seen me in action. I know what I'm doing.
And I think that's super important to close with that, because I think people think, oh, I'm just going to post pretty stuff. And then, when they hear that somebody's Insta famous or they're getting booked out on Instagram, it's a whole strategy. It takes a whole lot and a whole lot of giving value. I always think of how long it would take for me to book a coach or something, how much stalking I did up to, the big ask, and it takes a lot. So I'm glad to have you on here. I love this summer series you're doing. I can't wait. I can't wait to do my creative. This is going to be I have had this course built for about, since the beginning of the year. So 6 months. And so this is going to be a little teaser of what's to come. So I'm excited
too. I'm excited to learn from all of my co-hosts too, like Alyssa Turner. Cairns, who was also, I think she was in the coaching group with us as we were on our way out. She was on her way in. She's going to be talking about how to have a stylish home with kids, which I don't have kids.
You're like,
I can do a workshop on how to have a stylish home with dogs.
Exactly.
The dogs just are there and the home is stylish.
I love it.
So I'm looking forward. And then my business bestie, Jessica, she's going to be on twice. And so she's guru at like systems and behind the scenes, and like me as a newbie. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear. And just some of the stories she's told me about how she interacts with her clients and how she delivers things. It's so clever, and I cannot wait for her to share and everyone. It's going to be great. I keep saying that. It's going to be great.
So it is. It is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
So I have one real quick question before we go. As an introvert, you are out there all the time. What do you do to recover?
Alcohol. No, I think honestly, I'm really lazy when I'm not working. I do yoga. I get some quiet exercise time in the mornings. I get up really early. Even when I'm on summer vacation, I get up at 5 and I get my workouts in. And after I'm done for the day, I'm done for the day. I don't check my emails unless I absolutely have to. I put on Twin Peaks because I love my weird David Lynch stuff. I spend time with my husband. I walk the dogs. And I think it's part of it is my husband is also extremely introverted. He's more introverted than I am. So when he gets home, I shut it down and it's our quiet time. Neither one of us are very high energy. And on the weekends, we tend to just shut it down, and we'll take a day trip somewhere and get some food, or we'll just spend a quiet day in. But it's really all about just I joke that I don't ever get any sleep, but I have to get my sleep. I'm on old lady hours. I get up at 5 and I go to bed at 7:30.
That makes me feel so much better because I need about that much sleep too.
I do. And like, it's hard right now because it's so light out. So I have like a mask. I'm like, block out the sunlight.
Okay, so real quick, if somebody wants to find your series, where do they need to go?
MsPaperMoon.com, MsPaperMoon.com. There will be 2 tracks that they can choose from. There's the home styling track, and then there's the business branding track. And then when you sign up, you'll sign up for all of them. You can just watch whichever ones sound appealing to you. So if you're rocking Instagram already, you can just skip those and watch whatever it is that you want to watch. There's replays as well. So if you can't make the 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, for most of them are at 1 o'clock. Some of them I had to shift around the schedule a little bit, but there will be 48-hour replays for each one as well sent out.
Ooh, awesome.
So you can watch it in bed and have a cocktail at night. I act like we're going to be having tiki drinks all day, but it's 1 o'clock. I can't have tiki.
I am shopping for, that's one thing I don't have is that tiki stuff. So my husband has gone out. I'm like, tiki cup. I need a tiki cup. Like,
mine is Star Wars.
I will have
Star Wars mugs that are tiki.
You do?
I do.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Gotta get my nerd on.
Because my daughter is a Ray wannabe, right?
I know. She's so cute.
I've got the little BB-8 erasers right in front of me, and we've got Star Wars. We're nerdy over here too. My son's a gamer, and
Well, my husband is a Star Wars artist on the side, so it's part of his brand, so it's a big part of our lives.
Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. It's been so much fun chatting with you. I can't wait till the 28th to do our little workshop together, and we're going to do some in-person connecting to watch the IGs for that.
It's gonna
the IGs.
It's gonna be lit, as the kids say.
It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you for having me.
All right. This has been another episode of Design and Style. And if you want to check out more about us, you can find us at designandstyle.club, not .com, .club. And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.